welcome Vinay Ji. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it. Okay. Today we are going to discuss something huge, friends. आज हमारा चर्चा होगा ISIS planning a major attack in Toronto, and they are almost there. Okay. Let's discuss about the immigration system, how the infiltration happens, and are the enemies successful in infiltrating already in Canada. Let's start with the political analyst Vinay Ji. Thank you, Vinay Ji, for joining us again. And before getting started, friends, please make sure to like the video, comment on the video, share the video with as many people as you can, friends. We need your support in spreading the message, and so subscribe the channel if you didn't, and press the bell icon and stay connected so that you get informed as we go live. Okay. And also we are involved in many sevas, like we teach Sanskrit for free, and we are also doing Vedic mathematics for free, and many other things we are going to start in the upcoming days. So make sure to subscribe and stay connected, and also you can benefit from all these services. Friends, if you like what we do, if you are interested in the Dharma Prachar, what we do, please do share this video with as many people as you can, and also support us by doing Dan. Okay. And you can see we do Go Seva, Godan, Anna Seva, Annadan, Havan, Puja, and more, friends. So support us, and we need your support for sure. Okay, Vinay Ji, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay. And what is happening in Canada? Big thing. ISIS infiltration already successful in Canada. You just take over. Means I am. You just I remember, Vinay Ji, where I was living, just behind my place was just like 150 feet away from my place, very close to Washington, D.C. The whole Toronto, the whole Twin Tower blast was planned. Pentagon attack was planned. Okay, everything just 200 feet away from where I was staying on the back. And many people come to Canada thinking, it's a safe place. It's a kind of a terror-free area. And here comes again, immigration system is broken, infiltration successful. Vinay Ji, what do you say? Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So this is a very interesting story that has come out. It happened just about 3 weeks ago, on the 31st of July 2024. The RCMP, that's Royal Canadian Mounted Police, the federal police, arrested a father and a son.
Wow.
Okay, on several terrorism-related charges after receiving the Attorney General's consent to commence proceedings under Section 83 of the Criminal Code. Okay, so threats to Canada's national security are definitely a top priority for these investigating agencies such as RCMP. RCMP gets pulled in investigation, especially in Toronto, only if it is a federal issue. Okay, just so that the viewers understand and know, Toronto has a very efficient and vast police services called the Metropolitan Toronto Police Service. And they kind of control everything, going from the criminal to traffic control, and everything else is controlled by the Metropolitan Toronto Police Service. Okay, so like I said, RCMP jumps in only if it's a federal issue, and when it's a national security issue, RCMP jumps in. Okay, and also just another thing, there's a team under the RCMP that is called the Integrated National Security Enforcement Team, which is in short INSET, INSET, and they are made up of representatives of the RCMP, municipal and provincial forces, police forces, as well as federal and provincial partners and agencies. Okay, and so they were involved. Anything that concerns threats to national security and criminal extremism and terrorism, they jump in. So now the two people have been named, which is extremely surprising to me, because typically the police and the law here considers that, oh, everybody is innocent till proven guilty, so we cannot release names. You don't want to tarnish the name of them or tarnish the name of the family and blah blah blah, all that. So I've never seen names of people, criminal accused actually, being released. Okay. In this case, Ahmad LDD, 62 years old, and Mustafa LDD, 26 years old, have been charged with the following. Okay. They've been charged with participating in the activities of a terrorist group, contrary to Section 83.18 of the Criminal Code, facilitating terrorist activity, contrary to 83.19 of the Criminal Code, one count each of possession of a weapon for dangerous purposes, contrary to Section 83.2 of the Criminal Code, conspiracy to commit murder, contrary to 83.27 of the Criminal Code. And in addition, the father, Ahmad LDD, faces an additional charge for aggravated assault, contrary to Section 83.2 of the Criminal Code. And there's currently a Section 517 publication ban in place. Section 517 publication ban prohibits the publication of any information, evidence, or representations made at or in anticipation of a bail hearing. Okay, any bail conditions, reasons of the bail court, and any evidence or materials relied upon at the bail hearing are prohibited from disclosure. So you understand that, right? So court for both Mustafa and Ahmad LDD has been scheduled for August 1st, just about a day after they were arrested. And the INSET has worked with the Ministry of the Attorney General of Police, Public Prosecution Services of Canada, CSIS, which is the Canadian Security Intelligence Services, Toronto Police Service, the Canadian Border Services Agency, Ontario Provincial Police, York Regional Police Service. So a lot of police services, Peel Regional, Durham Police, and they've all been involved in this collaboration on the successful investigation. Okay, so that's just to give you a quick background of what happened with these two people.
Vinay Ji, means this country, especially under the leadership of Justin Trudeau, the Liberal PM, okay, he has been pretty soft on terror. Okay, do you agree on that? He has been pretty soft.
I agree partially, because the end of the day, the Liberal Party, I will completely blame them for a lot of stuff that is happening in this country right now, under the leadership of Justin Trudeau, because he kind of decided to bring in people from various countries, and he brought them en masse actually on under refugee laws.
Even otherwise, his dad did the same thing with the Kanishka bombing. The airline bombing happened under the watch of his dad. Even though the red light was issued from India regarding this terror attack, they kind of took it lightly and let it happen. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I think it's probably in the blood, like you said. But the reason why we are in this situation today, where the crime has gone up so much, car thefts has gone so much, burglary, rape, and the amount of stuff that is going on in Canada, it's unbelievable. And now you are sheltering terrorists here, and these people are hiding under God knows under what name. So this is kind of causing a lot of agony for
absolutely,
law-abiding citizens, and it's
absolutely. Absolutely, but what do you think? How they are vetting in the immigration system? How these black moles are they let to come in? Where are they from?
Here's the thing, right? Imagine.
Where are they from? Which country are they from?
These people, I have not been. I'm not privy to that information.
That is not disclosed.
That is not disclosed.
But they disclose the name. That itself is a big deal.
Yeah, it is. It is actually. So the irony is that these people,
They don't look like they're from Pakistanis, at least from the sketch.
no, but the RCMP has confirmed that the father, LDD, that is Ahmad LDD, is a Canadian citizen.
From what is a Canadian citizen? That means they have given the thing. They must be
They have a
from
Canadian
Iran,
passport. They have.
Syrian country generally.
I'm not sure where they are from, but they are Canadian. Well, the father is a Canadian citizen, but the son is not. Okay, and the police are waiting for confirmation on Mustafa LDD status. Actually, they've not revealed that yet. So I'm not aware of that. But going back to your first question, right? The Canadian government, in the last few years, has been bringing people, refugees from countries like Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, and many such countries. Okay. And also they have been a little loose on their policy, I should say, when it comes to immigration, because I recall when I immigrated to Canada many years ago, we had to go through the point system and we had to score 70 points, and it's like they look at your qualification, your knowledge of the languages, your work experience, and so on and so forth before they score that 70. So you got to score 70 points before you're allowed to immigrate to this country. But in more recent years, I've seen people with no qualification, with hardly any qualification, with hardly any education, with hardly any work experience, they are getting immigration to Canada. And added to that, so there's been a lax in the system, I should say. And added to that, the refugees are coming in huge numbers. They're sending aircraft, like many aircraft, going and picking up people from war-torn zones and bringing them to Canada. And when they bring them to Canada, they have absolutely no plan for them. They give them 1 year of free living, accommodation, some money to spend on their food and clothing and things like that. But what it is, after 1 year, they're let loose into the society. Now, these guys have hardly any language skills, hardly any work skills, and have hardly any education. And they are asked to now, fend for themselves. Now, these guys go into the open market, and now who's going to give them a job? Unless,
and for every kid you get like $650. They produce 5 kids. That's good enough.
And then the government continues to pay them Social Security, and now the co-op homes where a lot of these underprivileged live, those houses are already full. So these guys cannot find those houses because they're on waiting list to get into one of those houses. And so now they're living in God knows where, in some cheap accommodation. But again, at the end of the day, they still have to pay a rent. And how are they going to fend for their family? And their families are not small. They got 5, 6, 10, 15 kids, right?
But each kid is money. Each kid is money.
Exactly. They are able to sustain, but they also see the Canadian way of living. So they also want to buy Nike shoes for their kids. They also want to buy some brand name clothing for their kids and all that. So this is affordability issue, right? So then what happens is now they're looking at other alternative paths to kind of make money. And the alternative paths is, since they are unable to find, I'm not saying that they did not try.
There are so many mall attacks, robberies, and things like that. That is connected to the dream issue, what you are talking about.
Right.
There is a huge.
The Canadian government, had they shown them a path, hey, you come into the country, you are under our care for 1 year. We'll make sure that you learn the language, English or French. Number 2, we will teach you certain skills so that with those skills you actually go and start working. And then they also should try partnering up with certain private companies or whatever, so that they can volunteer initially during that 1 year and then start maybe as an apprentice or whatever, and then
Yeah, no, 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 no,
get
no.
hired by
What
somebody.
they teach, okay, what they teach is how to get the voter ID and put a vote for
That's
Liberal Party.
exactly, you're 100% right.
How to bust them.
Liberal Party's agenda is not to look at these people and see their or look at like how these people are going to live in the next 20 years or whatever, right?
They don't
Their
care. They
agenda
don't
is
care.
only to get this
You know,
is all vote bank. They're creating
yeah,
a vote bank with us.
Vinay ji, let me correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, where actually Liberal Party is the totally, they don't discriminate anybody. That's something I like with them. They destroy everybody. they don't pick and choose. Destroy these guys. No, not these guys. No, they uniformly destroy everybody.
It's a double-edged sword. Yeah, you're right.
And now the country means, what do you see? Is there a bigger thing now? These guys have been in multiple counts. They have tried multiple attacks in Canada, right? Say me how
100%.
many attacks they tried.
I mean,
What
like,
officially known,
the
and
good
they are
thing
sponsored by ISIS.
exactly, these guys are trained by ISIS, and then they have ties to ISIS. That's basically what the RCMP came out with, and they entered the country undetected. So which means when either they came in as refugees or they came in as the father came in as an immigrant or whatever, and again through going through the lax process. And when you go through the process, what you have also government of Canada should be doing is vetting these people, making sure they have the right there's no what do you call it, criminal background or any of that. But a lot of these people, right, they are, when ISIS trains them, they make sure that these people are virgins. When I mean virgin in the sense of criminal activity, they've never committed a crime, or even if they've committed a crime, they've never come under the radar of the police, local police in that country, and they're not on any police record. So which means when they go for the vetting by the police, right, like you got to get police clearance from the country you're coming in for immigration, actually. The police will look at the records and say, oh, no, nothing against Ahmad Al-Didi, nothing against Mustafa Al-Didi. Okay, it's all good. Boom. So you just, they let them go, right? And that letter comes to the Canadian immigration and look at the letter. Oh, okay, all right, the police has said fantastic. But can you rely on the local police? I mean, you got to have, some other way of checking these people, especially people coming in from.
No, it means when you don't want to check.
Prone.
There is a proverb. There is a proverb in Tamil, my language, okay, that you can wake up a person who is sleeping, but not the one who acts like sleeping. It's very difficult to wake up a person.
Yeah,
Means
exactly.
They don't care. They don't care.
That's for the
and see, in this thing, I will ask you one more question related to this. Okay, please touch upon that too, because there are a couple of when you are talking about immigration. Okay, there are a lot of bogus immigration happening with even the Indian students. Okay, who gets admission, but then their admission gets cancelled.
Right.
Okay, and things like that. And I was talking to somebody, they come in the university by paying the high fees, not in the college, university, because they get immediately they can come and cancel their classes and get a 3-year of work permit.
Correct.
So many things are. And latest news which if you want to touch upon is the people who are coming as immigrants to Canada, by the system, they get pressurized to go through the asylum route. That is also another.
Oh yeah. I mean, like there are a lot of people. I mean, yeah, that's another path. Sorry, I should have touched that as well. Good that you brought it up. A lot of these kids and people who come. I mean, I'm not talking just kids alone, but elderly people, They apply to universities. They come on student visa, for example. They come on visitor visa. They're visiting maybe
At the age of 60. At the age of 60, they come on the student visa.
Yeah, and family members, maybe visitor visa, and then they're also coming on medical visa. So they have the money, and they show that they have the money, and they're coming here for an operation, a surgery, or a consultation, or something like that, right? So that's another path. And what else? I mean, like there are work visas as well. Like people come on work visa. So like I know many IT people come from different countries, and they actually are coming in to kind of what do you call it? Work for a year, work for 2 years, or whatever. So these things are happening, and guess what? These guys are doing. They're using or misusing the system once they come in and once they land here. And then there is another path. What is happening with the Pakistan International Airlines? People are coming in, flying in here as air hostesses or pilots or whatever, and as soon as they land here, they escape. They're gone.
Yeah, but and no criminal checkup or anything like that. How do you check up on them, right?
So these things are happening, and once after they come in, guess what they do? They catch hold of some local lawyer or whatever, and they apply for asylum. And although some of these people are coming from countries like India or or some other countries, right, where there is no war, there is no persecution going on, or there is nothing such any of that stuff going on.
Now for Bangladeshi prosecutors, they will give the visa now.
Yeah. They'll definitely give them visas, because the government here themselves said the other day that they'll do that.
But let me ask you my last question, if you can, we can wrap it up. That is Toronto in danger of getting attacked? And
these guys,
how soon? What is the thing?
Exactly. Let me just explain this particular particular case here. Okay, the father and son were accused of conspiring with the Islamic State, the ISIS, to plan a terror attack in Toronto. Okay, these are the allegations. All right. And then they were basically they were plotting a Toronto axe and machete terror attack. You see that? They don't need guns, they don't need ammunition, they don't need some major missiles or any of those other high funda stuff, right? They were going to attack people in whether in Toronto or somewhere else. They were going to use just axe and machete, and this is so so ridiculous, because
this is happening in UK all the time now.
Yes, and this is
stabbing
you kill
is happening.
5-6 people, they get attention, because now the ISIS will say, oh, we take the responsibility. It was under ISIS banner that this whole thing happened, right? So that creates a kind of a fear among people, and now Toronto will become a city that is living under fear, and that's exactly what the terrorist organizations want, right? So they want to make sure that people live under fear, and this kind of goes on, and people will think, oh, ISIS is still alive.
And they all do this in taxpayer money. That's a
that's an interesting part going on, because the government is not taken a lot of
you work hard, you put the money in the government's hand, and take that money, they take your hard-earned money and go and blast you.
Exactly. And the funny thing was, last week NDP MP Alistair McGregor sent a letter to the chair asking for a meeting to investigate the matter. Okay, so he wrote that there are serious questions about how the elder suspect was able to enter Canada, become a citizen, and remain undetected for many years. So he's kind of asking these questions, but obviously NDP is under the leadership of Mr. Jagmeet Singh. Okay. And we all know what Jagmeet Singh is.
Whose passport is denied. He cannot enter India because of his terrorist connections by himself.
Exactly. So, and he is connected with the Khalistani Tiger Force and those that banned terrorist organizations. So he himself has got connections with the terrorist organization. So what is he going to do? So really, I don't have any respect for that leadership, or I wouldn't say the party, but for that leadership. But the conservative leader Pierre Poilievre has last week he was talking at an event, and he said, the question is how these people are slipping and coming into Canada and under the leadership of Justin Trudeau, and how these things are not being caught. Like, how is it possible? So that's a very legitimate question.
But with
these guys are brushing it
I
under
didn't
the
hear
carpet.
so far yet.
What's that?
Yeah, even with the Poilievre, I am yet to hear from him how he will fix this broken, scam-ridden immigration system.
No. I
didn't know.
I think you are you're not caught up on the stuff that he spoke a few days ago. How he's going to fix these immigration issues, and he was in a podcast interview with a Canadian guy, and he explained how he's going to change the immigration rules. And the funny thing is, I'll tell you something. Okay, the Canadian immigration rules that existed prior to Liberals taking over, right? Liberals coming into power, is extremely solid. The laws are very solid. Okay, it's after the Liberals came into power that they have made some exceptions to those rules, created some laxes in those rules, and have given certain kind of, I should say, leeway for people to use those loopholes to come into the country. So what Pierre Poilievre is saying is, nothing is wrong with the Canadian laws and whatever. It's just those laxes and the loopholes and that people are looking at. Those have to go away. We are not going to make any exceptions. We are not going to give those, and we'll fix those loopholes if they exist. And that's what he's talking about.
Anyway, let the viewers decide. Please comment and let us know. Do you agree with Vinay Ji that the conservative leader will be able to fix the broken, scam-ridden immigration system of Canada, or you think he will not able to? Let us know by commenting. And also, next question: do you think Canada will be able to stop the upcoming terror attacks, or it's if there is a major attack coming, how soon it could be, or what is your thought on it? Do let us know. Okay, Vinay Ji, thank you very much. Looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Till then, Jai Sri Ram, Jai Sri Ram. Incredible. You are always awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.